I can check and see on our moon or Minmus satellite if there's any chances to take temperature scans real quick before I call it a day. So much debris. Okay, get rid of the debris. Ooh. That's an above scan. Darn. Still a while till Munsat 1's in position. Munsat 6 they want an adjusted orbit, although I really don't feel like doing that. Valentina Kerman Memorial Station. Still looks good, I assume. I do still need to send fuel tanks up on this, so we can complete the contract. And this will be our waypoint station for lunar exploration. So I will have to send it a lander to dock at the bottom here, and some fuel tanks. I had an idea for how I'd do this too. Try to maximize the amount of the amount of fuel we get to the moon. I think we actually saved it last time, didn't we? We have the small fuel resupply craft. Lunar Explorer. Nope. Oh, yes we did. It's right here. So with this guy, I'm going to change this up a little bit. Take this engine off. We don't care about that. That's repetition at that point. And then, what I want to do, fairing off. And I want a T18 decoupler. All right. Hit anything? Will hit something. Okay, so that's not ideal. So let's get rid of that. I want a structural tube, which I think I have. Maybe I don't. Thought I had structural tubes. Apparently, I'm just imagining that. Whatever. I can use fairings for it. I can use fairings. I'm just being picky. Nope. That's the big one. So put the fairing back on. I'll just build that in a second. what I actually want to do balance this out a little better. Okay. Cybertrons. Not being very talkative at the moment. I realize. I'm just so deep in thought. Accidentally burn anything off, is it? Nope, looks good. Alright, so what I'll actually end up doing is basically burning all this in I can't even think right now, hold on. Okay, there we go. What I'm trying to say is, I will use the fuel in the top section here to help boost this all the way to Muna transfer, and then I will deorbit just this piece, return it back to Kerbin with the Separatrons, and then I don't have to worry about bringing a second engine. I could just stretch the use of the engine that's already on the rocket that we're going to be taking. That's what the words that were trying to come out of my mouth there. So that will be a junk tank. And I also remember this time, okay, I do have antennas this time. Last time I did not have antennas, and that was a problem. Save the refueler. K15 G2. Still within our weight limit. Maybe like some kind of aerodynamic cone for the top, so it's not just a I've got an oversized one. That's it. Let's use that. It's just a little extra fuel as well. And, on that. There we go. Here's our craziness. Should I try and launch it now? I feel like I kind of should. Got our new engines to help us out. Well, that's the other thing. I can replace this engine as well. Of question is, will this stage get me all the way to orbit? Probably. So I don't have to worry about changing that then, because that's the more efficient engine for that use case. Yeah, let's just launch it. Let's see if I can get it into orbit, and then that way tomorrow I can go and get it sent off to the moon. And then that's where I'll call it a stream. A little extra time to make up for the holiday yesterday. I am very relieved to have that relay network in place. All right, here goes. Pushing the weight limits of the launch pad we have. Definitely much better first stage engines, these skiffs. They're basically, I was saying before, they're basically the engines from the Saturn V second stage and third stage. 5 in the second and 1 in the third, respectively. So they're pretty powerful engines. They do have their own gimmick. Alright, so 10,000 meters. Turn off the RCS. No, I don't need RCS right now. We're wasting that. We're going to start our gravity turn. Not that this wants to agree with us for a gravity turn. Just getting a little bit of roll as we try to do this, but it's really not that bad. Got it in control. Okay. Separate. There we go. Apogee looks good. Start leveling out. Wow, these engines seem to have made a big difference. We're gonna actually have to aim down a little bit to try and finish our orbit. All right. Kill the throttle. Separate off. Just a light burn just to get out of there. Alright, so that stage is still suborbital. I really missed that prograde point now. Let's blow the fairing while we're here. And let's figure out our maneuver to wrap up orbit. Quite that much. 55 seconds. So I'll wait a little bit. To 27 seconds roughly. Radio contact, just start putting these out. Okay, almost there. Yep, there we are. has the potential to get quite a bit of fuel to Valentina Kerman Station. I think that might be the smoothest launch of our K15 launcher as well. It went really well. Definitely those new first stage engines make a big difference. That should do just fine. Yep, that's pretty darn good. Make sure we got all our antennas extended. Yep, looks good there. All right. Pretty darn cool. Could have made this a little less silly and put one tank instead of these, but whatever. Whatever. Now the other thing I can do, so I can transfer all the fuel out of this top section yet, or if that'll be during the moon transfer burn, or after the moon transfer burn, I should say. Okay, let's see. This. See. Oh, there we go. Yep, I still got a tank there I can throw fuel into. I can still throw a little bit of fuel in this one. Wow. I think that's it. I think that worked out near perfectly. Anywhere else I can dump fuel into. Anything else is at full. Well, for like the 7 units of fuel, I don't think it's going to be worth start burning with this thing attached. So what I have to do is aim retrograde. And we'll burn that off. Alright. There we go. Fully fueled. And ready for Mooner transfer. We got a decent amount of fuel off of this to Valentina Kerman Station. But that'll be tomorrow night. That'll be tomorrow night at 7. Again, we'll do another stream. And keep all our progress moving right along. Look at that. That's beautiful. That actually did deorbit just wonderfully. So, I think that's it, guys. We did more than some streams, to be sure. But not as much as I'd hoped for today. We did get a geosynchronous satellite upgrade, so we can get much better comms, solve that issue. Didn't do any real contracts. We did get some science back from the Minmus probe, and now we got this fuel tank ready to go for a moon transfer to Valentina Kerman Station. Soon we'll be launching the lander to the station as well, and then we'll be able to send crewed missions over just to dock at the station, and then long-term stay, multiple docking excursions and landing excursions to the moon. That should be very exciting. Look at that sunrise. That's just perfect. So, with that, thanks everybody for watching. That did watch. If you want to see any of our older streams, maybe you want to see Jebediah Kerman die, or maybe you want to see Valentina Kerman on my very first stream give herself to the trainer jet. Well, those are all things you can do. We've got everything posted up on youtube.com/DudekAlgebro. Thanks everybody, and good night.